All right, good afternoon or morning, depending on where you are in the United States. My name is Riley Price, and I'm here with Chase Lane, and we're with RTech Solutions. Today, we're going to be talking about cutting the copper and outlining our POTS link solution. So without any further ado, I'm going to move on here. So again, I'm Riley Price. I'm a channel sales representative with RTech Solutions. Chase Lane is our support engineer with RTech Solutions. So as you have any questions going forward, you're going to notice a few things. There is a chat box that you have access to. Anytime during the presentation you'd like to ask a question, please type it in that chat box and we'll answer it as promptly as we can. Moving along here. So our agenda today, we're going to be talking about RTech as a service solutions. Specifically, we're going to be discussing our POTS link, replacing those copper lines. Through the presentation, we're going to be talking about some of our success stories and use cases that we've already implemented for customers. And we'll have a Q&A session at the end. Throughout the presentation, we'll have a couple polls that we'll do and record your responses. And again, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask as we move through this presentation. RTech believes it should be really easy to do business with. It should be easy to do business with us, as a partner, and we want to make it as easy as possible for our clients as well. So what do? We provide all-in-one wireless connectivity solutions, bundles. We include the hardware, data, and support for business applications. Today, we're going to be talking about the POTS link, but we do have many more solutions that are under our umbrella that we can offer our customers. All of our solutions are using the latest and greatest in technology. We cross-carrier pool our data, so we can provide data based on where the customer is, utilizing the four major carriers within the United States. And again, using OpEx pricing, we want our solutions to be affordable and not a large upfront cost to our customers. Again, providing solutions as a service, since we do everything from the manufacturing and assembly of the product, so POTS link, we assemble that in-house in Knoxville, Tennessee. We supply the data. We provision the POTS link based on what the usage is. Is it going to be an elevator? Is it a fire alarm? Is it going to be a sensor? Gate access, you name it, we'll provision that unit before it gets shipped out to the customer. And then we handle billing as well. So from installation as well as site surveys. So from start to finish, you're dealing with one person, one solution, one bill. Traditionally, you might have many vendors that you have to deal with to come up with one solution. You're buying the connectivity that's going to connect you to the cellular network. You're going through somebody else to provide installation. You're working through somebody else with billing. So again, as a solution as a service, we provide everything from start to finish, one easy package and easy to work with. And again, it's bundled together, OpEx pricing and one easy, lower cost monthly payment. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Chase real quick, and he's going to explain why POTS replacement.
Thank you, Riley. So as you guys may know, the FCC is sunsetting service on all copper lines, which is why we have our POTS link solution. Most of the time, when you're using these, our most common scenarios are going to be, like you see here, elevator call boxes, fire alarms. We can do blue light emergency poles. And there's a couple of other things that we can use them for. You can even use them for standard phone lines or even fax lines. And basically the way that this works is we are taking the analog signal from those copper lines. We are using an analog telephone adapter to convert those into digital signals, which are then sent out over a cellular network. So this allows you to use your existing infrastructure in whatever location you may have to update it to use a digital signal.
Great, thank you, Chase. Some other reasons, as Chase said, that the government has moonlighted POTS lines. So they're extremely costly to fix. If you run into a problem, whether they're run underground or on top of a pole, it's very, very expensive to fix. And if you can find somebody to fix it, that might present another problem. Um, Also, because of the moonlighting of traditional POTS lines, we're seeing across the board exponential growth with end users' telephone bills. So moving over to a wireless solution through RTech solutions is going to drastically reduce your cost. This is also future proofing your business. You're moving from, an antiquated technology, and that's why it's being moonlighted, over to current technology, utilizing the new, the wireless infrastructure that's in place today. So we'll move on to the next slide here. And Chase, if you'd like to cover this segment on the actual POTS link and what it's comprised of.
Absolutely. So I mentioned earlier that this is using an analog telephone adapter to convert that analog signal into a digital signal that can be sent out over a cellular network. And this just goes a little bit more in depth into that. So like you see here, it is powered by an IBR 650C cellular modem. We can do up to 8 lines on one kit. We do have smaller options. So, if we have a 2-port kit, a 4-port kit, and an 8-port kit. So however many lines you need, we have a solution that will meet those needs. This is approved for fire alarm connectivity. We can work with your alarm provider to make sure that we can get everything thoroughly tested to make sure that signals are being sent. We don't really have to do any infrastructure changes. This connects right at the 66 block, also called the demarcation point. So this is very simple to set up. It's very simple to connect, and we can be in and out in about 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Thank you, Chase. So this is pictured here, as one of our POTS-Link solutions. If I was going to remove the cover of this, on the left side of the picture, you'd see a Cradlepoint 600. In the middle, you would see the circuitry for our coding, for the analog to digital conversions. And on the right-hand side, there's a battery backup included in the box. So we would not want somebody to be on an elevator and have the power go out, have the elevator fail, and not be able to utilize that phone in the elevator to make the emergency call. So all-in-one solution. Like I said earlier, we also do perform site surveys prior to the installation of our units. That way, we're toning the lines in the telco room to find out what they're going to. We often find that customers are paying for lines that they didn't know that they were still active. So there's some cost savings involved there as well. When it comes to installation day, usually that's pretty close to the site survey. Once we get that information back, then our technician goes out and they perform the installation. This box can be mounted right on the wall in your telco room. If it's inside of a, let's say a school building in the boiler room, we do have other options for installing external antennas that link up to our POTS link box. So you'll always have the best connectivity. And as I said, we cross carrier pool our data. So with our POTS solution, if Verizon is the strongest carrier there, we'll utilize them. If it's T-Mobile, if it's AT&T, US Cellular, we'll pick the one that's going to suit your need best. Cradlepoint also has an added redundancy that you can add to it. So we can actually have 2 carriers on one box. So if one has an outage in that area, which is pretty rare with wireless carriers, it'll automatically fail safe over to the backup carrier. So that's another option that you have with POTS Link. And we'll move forward here. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. This is a customer that we've already provided a solution for and installed. Their e-terminal needed a new solution to their traditional POTS lines. Broadband would not work for them. They needed to go to a wireless solution, which they chose us. And ultimately, we put in 18 units, totaling 84 lines at their terminals, within that terminal E. So now, without physically going around and checking lines, number one, they have a solution that works. Number two, it can be monitored from a single computer to check and make sure that all those lines are functioning correctly. If they do have an outage with one of their phone lines in that terminal, it'll alert the end user immediately. You can set up different styles of alerts, whether it's a text or an email, and then that can be resolved very, very quickly. With our solutions, we also provide support. It is managed data, so you do get support from RTech Solutions, with our POTS link.
So you covered a lot of the most important things there, Riley. I think I do want to retouch on that that monitoring that we do have. We have that set up. We receive alerts anytime that goes down. We can also set up alerts that come straight to you if that's what you prefer. But we can always see whether or not this is up or down in real time. And we can receive alerts to that. So it's not even something that we have to be constantly watching. We're alerted anytime anything goes down. And we can get that back up very quickly.
Awesome. Thanks, Chase. All right. We shall move forward. Chase, did you want to cover the elevator portion?
Of course. So elevator call boxes are one of the most common things that we use our POTS Link solution for. As I'm sure you're all aware, all elevators are legally required to have a communication device in there in case of emergency, just a way for any passengers who might be stuck in the elevator to reach out to emergency services. And especially with, we just talked about the cloud monitoring 24/7, 365. This is especially important for a lot of these elevators, whether it is, a school for children, whether it is a retirement community for the elderly. This is something that we definitely have to have up and running at all times. An elevator for a lot of people is not just an easier way to get to different floors in a building. A lot of times, whether they might be in a wheelchair or anything else, an elevator is a very important thing that they have to have running. And if that phone is not working, that can lead to disastrous consequences. So one of the ways that we are using this POTS Link solution is all of these elevators are connected into copper lines, that existing infrastructure in the building. And because our POTS Link solution is designed to be able to just be a plug and play solution, it is a very quick way to ensure that those elevator phones stay up and running.
Awesome. Thank you, Chase. All right. So, we've talked about POTS Link and our solution from basically start to finish. RTech is a company that partners with other companies. We're not a direct selling company, so we utilize or work with our partners to receive quotes and to put solutions together for your clients. And just real quick to go over some other solutions that we have in addition to POTS replacement. We provide failover services. Failover is if that fiber, hard line go running into your business for internet applications fails, our solution immediately clicks on, switches over to a wireless solution connecting to the wireless network. Again, we cross carrier pull our data. So any one of the solutions we provide can go on one of the 4 major carriers in the U.S. We do out-of-band management. We have a really exciting and popular device that we develop in-house. It's a pop-up network kit, and I'll just hold one up here so you can see it. It's in the box, but again, it's utilizing Cradlepoint. It's battery operated, so you can deploy it in the field to a construction site. We're doing a lot of business right now around the upcoming elections for polling. You name it. School buses that need to have a mobile bookstore or mobile learning facility, they can be deployed on them. So really cool stuff. We also do fixed wireless, replacing traditional fiber internet connections for businesses and replacing that with a wireless solution for them. So lots of things that we do. Well, I'm waiting. There's a frequently asked question that we get, and it's around our installations and who performs them. So RTech Solutions has its own field service coordinators. We're located in multiple spots in the United States. We do perform installations within every state in the U.S., and we have been in every state. Um, once we get an order, it's built, it's provisioned, it's ready to go. Our field service coordinator sets up that installation for the site. We either perform it ourselves or we do contract certified technicians to perform those installations for us. So we make it quick, easy, one person to deal with from the beginning to the end of the process. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close out our webinar on POTS today. And I thank you very much for joining. And I thank Chase for being a part of this call today. I hope the weather's treating you well. For those in the north central part of the country and northeast, watch out for the ice. I know where I am, it's pretty warm today. But be safe out there, and I hope to talk to you soon.